Millie needs to go to hospital.
It's best if you go straight there.
When your child is going through something that's making them feel really anxious and worried, you as a mother really feel that, and you just want to do all that you can to try and reassure them and help them.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, around about a year ago, just under, there was a big fallout within the Radford family dynamics. Quite a few bad words were said between Millie, one of the elder children of the family, and Sue, and yeah, it got a little bit heated. Millie put this up on her Instagram. She said, "But you've made money from all your grandchildren, but choose your favourites." And my piece said, I recall my kids being in the whole 22 kids and counting. Not a single viewing of the rest in there. Right, so she was angry at the time because her kids were not invited on the latest Disney adventure, right? So she had her little rant on Insta about her mother, which caught a lot of traction. It's got to be said, everybody was talking about it, but it didn't end there. It was all over Facebook as well. Sue hit back at her daughter by saying, "I refuse to take Millie and her abusive boyfriend, who was only in court in December, for beating me up and punching Ellie." I mean, who in their right minds would take someone like that? So obviously, yeah, she was angry because Millie's boyfriend was in court for beating her up, and also beating her 17-year-old daughter up as well. And she went on to say, "We would never ever invite her and her abusive boyfriend, who thinks it's okay to beat me up, and Ellie, he was only in court for it in December." So she took this very much public. It was a huge deal, you know. Everybody was talking about it. Well, when I say everybody, I was talking about it, right? So it was all over the news. Did actually make the Sun newspaper. Probably. Unfortunately, as the police have said, he will do it again, only next time Millie and her kids might not be so lucky. So it's sounding like Sue was very, very concerned, right? And this is why she didn't take Millie's kids to Disney, right? Anyway, that's the going story. So Millie hit back at her own mother and said, "Okay, everything is getting sent to the Sun now." Plenty of videos to send over as well, which I forgot I had of you. She was going to expose her own mother to the Sun newspaper. Lovely family, gotta say, a lovely family. Anyway, the whole episode was insane. And the boyfriend, who was accused of beating up Sue and Sue's 17-year-old daughter, is the same boyfriend, I guess, that Sue ended up having a picture with when Millie was giving birth. Yeah, that boyfriend right there, you know, the one that Sue, you know, if I had a child who had been beaten up by a man, I wouldn't then go and just be happy families with that same person. I would want nothing to do with them. I'm sorry. I know there's like making up between the family and Millie and Sue. They need to make up and everything else. But, you know, you also had another child involved in this who allegedly got beaten up by this guy as well. So just to make up is seems a little bit, you know, I don't know if I could do it, okay? Maybe it takes a certain level of person to do that. But my gripe here is the fact that this was so huge. It was all over the internet and it was so amazingly big. But in their recent 22 Kids and Counting episode, you'll have spotted this.
What you having?
Girl.
Girl. Have you picked a name yet or not?
Yes, Elodie.
That's right, it's the same Millie who had previously complained that her own children had been exploited by her own mother on the 22 Kids and Counting show, and she is exploiting her child for views on 22 Kids and Counting. So why was it such a big deal that her mother, Sue, had used her children for this show, and now it's all okay, they've all made up, and Millie is back having her own kids exploited on the show? It seems a little bit disingenuous, if I'm being honest with you, that previous episode of the fight.
So I'm going to check her over today. We'll do a full little MOT on her. There she is. Her little nose, her lips.
Closer inspection reveals that not everything is as it should be.
So it's, there's quite a few calcifications in the placenta there. Yeah, normal fetal heart rate at rest should be between 110 and 160 beats a minute, so it shouldn't be going that fast.
The high heart rate is abnormal.
So they're not only exploiting this unborn child, but they're actually doing so in like a dangerous situation whereby the child could be at risk, and it just feels again like very, very exploitative. And yet Millie has previously said that she doesn't like this. She's not a fan of the fact that her children have been used by Sue on the show, and yet she's doing the exact same thing that she had the massive falling out about. Does it seem a little bit disingenuous? I think so.
It's what we call a fetal tachycardia. It's quite concerning, really. That's concerning enough to send you in for further investigation, really.
Millie needs to go to hospital.
It's best if you go straight there.
When your child is going through something that's making them feel really anxious and worried, you as a mother really feel that, and you just want to do all that you can to try and reassure them and help them.
The thing is, right, knowing how fake this show is and how scripted it is, it kind of makes me question whether or not this incident was actually as bad as they're saying it was. Is it done for the views and the because to make that up for the show is just, it's sick, right? Or to enhance it for the show is sick, given that it's a medical emergency to do with your unborn child. So you don't know whether or not something is actually as serious as they say, because everything else is fake, right? Or scripted. So don't know. Anyway, my point being here that Millie, who was previously unhappy with having her children used by Sue on the show, is doing the exact same thing, having just made up with her mother about the whole previous incident. So it's one of two things is happening here. One is that Sue has manipulated Millie into getting back and then using her child again. I mean, if nothing else, you would think that Sue would remember that comment and actually think, hang on a second, maybe we shouldn't put Millie in the show with her kids, maybe. But no, she doesn't care, obviously. But then there's the other side. Was the whole thing kind of made up? The incident before, the whole falling out, was it all scripted, in fact, because it just doesn't feel right what's happening there on the show there. Actually, I've got to say, when I saw it, I was quite angry about it. That's why I had to make the video, because it's not right. It isn't. Millie should have, well, she should know. She's previously said that she's not happy with her kids being used for the show, and then she uses her kids for the show. She should be able to put her foot down and say, no, I actually don't like this situation with my kids being used for the show. But then again, we all know that when she said it, it was more to do with the fact that her kids weren't invited to Disney rather than her kids being exploited. That was the whole situation there. Anyway, just something I thought I'd bring up with you. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this situation. Are you in agreement with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you on Team Millie? Are you on Team Sue? Or are you on Team both? So let me know. Also give this video a massive thumbs up and comment all your thoughts about it down below. I've already said that, fucking hell. Seriously. Anyway, yes, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all so much for everybody who has given my videos and channel so much love recently. It's very much appreciated. Until next time, take care of yourselves and bye bye.